Hi, my name is Lucas. Today we have 3 different science experiments lined up, all revolving around soap. We have the milk, food coloring, and soap experiment. We have the soap, pepper, and water experiment. And here we have the bubble inside of a bubble experiment. So for this experiment, you're going to need milk, but it can't be fat-free milk because you need the fat inside of it. You can either use any type of milk with fat, or you can use like creamer. You can pour this out on your plate. And then you take your food coloring and you put a couple drops of as many colors as you want. And then you just take your regular dish soap and you put a little drop right in the center. And you can put some a little bit around it. And then this experiment is a bit of a slower experiment. It also depends on the type of food coloring you use. You want to use a more liquid one to make it spread more and faster. And it also depends on the fat content inside of your milk or your creamer. The more fat, the more it moves. This one we'll put to the side. So now coming back to the milk and food coloring experiment with the soap, you can see that the soap reacted with the fat molecules inside the milk and helped carry the food coloring throughout the milk, because the soap inside of the milk breaks up the fat cells and makes the food coloring move throughout it in really cool patterns. So for the next experiment, we have here the water, soap, and pepper experiment. The only other thing you're going to need is a regular bowl. You're going to take your water and pour it into your bowl. Then you're going to take your pepper and you're going to crack it right on top. Then all you do is you take the soap, put the soap on your finger, and dip it right in the center. Because the soap is thicker, it'll stay on the top of the water, and it'll actually spread all the pepper to the side. And if you watch, all the pepper on the sides will slowly fall down to the bottom. The reason why it's falling down to the bottom is because the soap is taking over the top of the water and actually pushing all the pepper down to the bottom. So for this experiment, this is the bubble inside the bubble experiment. You're going to need some water, just some regular dish soap, a plate, a spray bottle full of water, a couple of straws, and a container to make your bubble solution in. So now, you're going to take your water and pour it into your container. And then you can experiment with your soap. It all depends on the type of soap that you have and what soap you're using, of how much you need. I like to use about that much. Then you're going to take your straw, and you're going to stir your solution together. You don't really want to agitate it because you don't want a lot of bubbles at the top. So next, you're going to take your spray bottle, and then you're going to spray the plate with just the regular water. Make it nice and moist. The reason you want to do that is because the bubbles like wet surfaces. Because the bubble is wet, it likes to be on wet surfaces. It doesn't like to be on dry, otherwise the bubble will pop. So if you spray it on, it'll make the bubble. If it was a perfectly dry plate, the bubble wouldn't stay. So now, you're going to take your straw and dip it in your bubble solution. Stir it up, make sure you really get some soap in there. Then you're going to blow your bubble. Just like a regular bubble, you don't want to blow it too fast. Then you really want to dip your straw in there because wet likes wet, so you want to get the straw in there so it's nice and wet, so when you go inside the straw, inside the bubble, the straw won't pop it. Sometimes you don't get the bubble. And sometimes, depending on the plate you use, it will move to the side. But you can always blow more inside of those. And then if you want to start from new, you can just take your spray bottle, spray it all away, and you can start from new. Thank you everybody for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you have any ideas for different science experiments we can try in the show, please drop that down in the comments section. And if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing.